Good afternoon to everybody. Welcome everybody here to the house of Jacob. And I'm going to give you the title of today's lesson. And it is God's desire is to dwell with man. The Lord had a plan, and he set that plan in motion. And within that plan, God's intentions are to dwell with man. We are going to show you that in this lesson. And we are going to show you where he's going to dwell with man too. So, you have people, they believe that eventually they're going to dwell with the Lord. But most people believe that they're going to dwell with the Lord in heaven. We're going to find out that is not the case. They are right on the account that the Lord is going to dwell with them, or they are going to dwell with him, provided they meet certain conditions. And that is another thing too. There are certain conditions that you must meet if you are going to dwell with the Lord. But that is the Lord's desire, is to dwell with man. And we will show you that. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to Exodus chapter 13. And we are going to show you that the Lord, he has dwelt with man in the past. And show you that the Lord too will dwell with man once again in the future. So we started out in Exodus chapter 13, and we began reading at verse 17. Now this is when the Lord had Moses to deliver the children of Israel out of Egypt. And this is what he had said to Moses that he would do. Let's start reading at verse 17, Exodus chapter 13, and we will begin reading at verse 17. Okay, go ahead and read.
And it came to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God led them not through the way of the Philistines, although that was near. For God said, lest peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Egypt.
Now this was just after Pharaoh had finally let Israel go, because the Lord had poured out these plagues upon the Egyptians, and then he poured out this last plague upon them where he told them he would kill all of the firstborn of Egypt that didn't have the blood over their doorposts. Now, Pharaoh finally let Israel go. Go ahead and read on.
But God led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up harnessed out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth and encamped in Etham, at the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, to go by day and night.
And it said the Lord went before them in the pillar of cloud, and then in the fire by night. Go ahead and read on.
He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people.
Now it's telling us here, that the Lord went before them in this pillar of cloud and in this fire by night. Now let's go to Exodus chapter 25, and we'll begin reading at verse 8. Exodus 25, and we'll begin at verse 8. So now the Lord was there. He was in the pillar of the cloud by day and in the fire by night. Start reading at Exodus 25, and we'll begin reading at verse 8. Now, the Lord had said to Moses, he's going to build a tabernacle here. And Moses told the people, bring certain things up for the building of this tabernacle. Let's start reading here, though, now at verse 8. And this is the purpose of the tabernacle. Go ahead and read.
And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them.
Now, the Lord said to Moses, he said, now let them make me a sanctuary that I might dwell among them. Because he's going to dwell among the people. But he said, make me a sanctuary that I might dwell among them. Go ahead and read on.
According to all that I showed thee, after the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall you make it.
Now I want you to skip down to verse 17 and continue reading.
And thou shalt make a mercy seat of pure gold.
Now he's telling them all the things that he want to put in this tabernacle. He said, now make a mercy seat of pure gold. And we're going to find out that this mercy seat, it actually represented the throne of God. Because everything Israel did, it was according to the pattern.
Right.
Because this pattern, it was a pattern of the true tabernacle of the Lord, where he really dwells. Go ahead and read on.
2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and a cubit and a half the breadth thereof. And thou shalt make 2 cherubims of gold of beaten work. Thou shalt make them in the 2 ends of the mercy seat.
Now he's saying you make you 2 cherubims of gold, and he's telling them how to make the cherubims of gold. Go ahead and read on.
And make 1 cherub on the one end, and the other cherub on the other end. Even of the mercy seat shall you make the cherubims on the 2 ends thereof.
Now you had these cherubim, and they was there around this mercy seat. And we're going to find out all this is representing the actual throne of God. That's why you had to have the cherubim, because we're going to understand that the Lord dwelleth between the cherubim. Right. Go ahead and read on.
20. And the cherubim shall stretch forth their wings on high, covering the mercy seat with their wings, and their faces shall look one to another. Toward the mercy seat shall the faces of the cherubims be. And thou shalt put the mercy seat above upon the ark, and in the ark thou shalt put the testimony that I shall give thee. And there I will meet with thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat, from between the 2 cherubims.
Now the Lord is saying there, he said there I'm going to meet with you, and I will commune with you there above the mercy seat, between the cherubim. Go ahead and read.
Which are upon the ark of the testimony of all things which I will give thee in commandment unto the children of Israel.
And he's saying everything that I'm going to give you, that you should give to the children of Israel.
Right.
But I'm going to meet with you there on this mercy seat that sitteth between the cherubim. Let's go now to Exodus chapter 32, and we'll begin reading at verse 7. Exodus 32, and we'll pick it up at verse 7. 32 and 7. Okay, go ahead and read.
And the Lord said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves.
Now this is when Moses, he had gone up into the, up to meet the Lord, up into the mountain to meet the Lord. So now, and then while he was gone, the children of Israel, they convinced Aaron that he should make some pagan god that and said, these be the gods that brought you out of Egypt. So Aaron did that, and now the Lord is telling Moses, go get you down, for the children of Israel, they have corrupted themselves. Go ahead and read on.
They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them.
Now he's saying they have turned aside quickly out of the way that I commanded them, because the Lord had commanded Israel, don't serve no other God. Don't deal with no God but me. Don't make no image of anything in the likeness of anything in the heaven or in the earth to worship it. What did Israel do? They did the very thing God said don't do. Go ahead and read on.
Right. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it.
They have made a molten calf, and I told them don't do that.
Right.
And this is what they have done. Go ahead and read on.
And have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people.
You know what stiff-necked is? Stubborn, hard-headed.
Right.
He said, now I done seen this people. And they are truly a stiff-necked people. Go ahead and read on.
Now therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them. And I will make of thee a great nation. Now
you see what the Lord is telling him? He said, now let me alone. Because God is getting ready to do away with Israel right there.
That's right. That's right.
He said, now just let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot, that I may consume all of these people, and then I'll take you and make a nation out of you. Because God made a promise to Abraham. And that promise was that, this people would be his people, and he would be their God, and they would dwell in that land for everlasting possession. Right. So now the Lord had to keep an Israelite around. But he can take that one Israelite and let him multiply with whatever woman.
That's right.
Because whatever child came out of her would be an Israelite.
That's right.
So now he can take just one Israelite man and make a whole nation again. So now he said, just let me alone that I may consume them, and then I will take you, Moses, and I will make a nation out of you. That's right. Go ahead and read. But Moses pleaded that call, being the intercessor that he is. Go ahead and read.
11. And Moses besought the Lord his God, and said, Lord, why doth thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, For mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath, and repent of this evil against thy people.
And he said, Lord, Moses pleading with the Lord. He said, Lord, because the Egyptians, they're going to say, you done brought them out for mischief. You done got them out here, and you couldn't do nothing with them, so now what you did, you killed them. So now the Lord, he even listened to Moses. Go ahead and read on.
Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thine own self,